welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be mashing together my December wrap-up and my 2024 yearly wrap-up. This was originally going to be 2 videos, but a lot of life happened the past few weeks, and because of that, it's kind of going to be 1 video. I don't know how long this is going to be. I hope it's not crazy, but I got a lot of books to get through. We're probably going to rapid fire it. I read 16 books in the month of December, and we're going to start off strong with an audiobook, Boom, Lights Out, by Nevessa Allen. If I get it wrong, I'm so sorry. It got a 5-star. That was so fun. It was a stalker romance. It's a dark romance about like a ER trauma nurse who likes masked men, and she loves a guy who makes thirst traps on the internet with a mask, and essentially she DMs him one day and she's like, break into my house, and he happens to know her because she had like a situationship kind of thing, on again, off again, with his roommate, his friend. So he knew where she lived. He was like, alright, bet, let's do this. And he did it, and he snuck into her house, and then they just started this. It was good. They started a relationship from there. It was, sorry, cats are catty. My living room's a disaster. But it was really good. I liked it. If you're a dark romance girly, there it is. I also have a DNF in here. I was looking, because I got physical books as well over here to the side. So I also DNF'd this. I started off the year with this. Bells Hells What Doesn't Break by Cassandra Call. It's Laudna's story from Critical Role, Campaign 3. I was anticipating this read. I was excited for this read. And, cats. And if you hear a loud noise, I'm sure I'm going to pick up on it on editing and be really upset with it. It's my washer. It's late, though. It's been a very long day. I'm just happy I filmed today, to be honest. So, I'm really sorry. That's there. Anyways, back to the book. I expected something different. I knew this book. I had been waiting for this book since it had been announced. So I was very excited, and I got this like within a day of it coming out. I was very excited for it. Because Laudna is my favorite character in Critical Role Season 3, or Campaign 3. But my problem became, so I knew again that this was Laudna's backstory. But I thought when it meant by Laudna's backstory, I thought it meant Laudna's time with Imogen, which is a character that she spends a lot of time, like 2 years with before the events of the campaign begin. That's not it. That was not the case. And so I was really disappointed because of that. And that could be on me for going in with the wrong expectations. But I got about 100 pages in, and it's a really short book too. And I am a firm believer in DNFing if you don't like a book. So yeah, I got 100 pages in, and it's like 250. Yeah, 250. And I had to put it down. It just wasn't for me. It's not what I expected. And since I went in with the expectation of it's going to be her time with Imogen, and it's actually, the whole thing takes place all the way up to when she meets Imogen, it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me, guys. So I did DNF that. So that's there. I'll put her off to the side. Then next, we got the Filthy Rich Vampire series, which I did do a whole review on, so we will rapid fire these. Boom. Book 1 got a 5-star. Book 2 got a 5-star. And book 3 got a 4-star. If you want to hear more about those, totally go check out my review on them. I have a video on my channel about that whole series. I'll talk to you about why the 4th one isn't up here. But yeah, those are those. I really like those a lot. If you like vampires, go for it. That's where it's at. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. The Infernal Devices series. I also have a review about this one, my friends. Please go check out that video if you want to hear more my in-depth opinion on each individual of these books and the series as a whole, because they were amazing. I absolutely adored these. These are the books I chose to start. I have them all right here. Let me just go ahead and grab them. These are the books I chose to start my Shadowhunter's journey by Cassandra Clare. And I ended up choosing correctly. I told myself that I was going to just pick one, because I know she has 3 trilogies and then a book of 6, and then, you know, a bunch of little spin-off titles, singular books. in this world, and I decided I was going to pick one singular book that I was interested in, or one series in the Shadowhunter world that I was interested in, and I would start there. And if I liked it, then I would read the others. But I picked the one I was most interested in because of the fact that I was intimidated by how big the world is and the size. So I wanted to start with one that I knew I was probably going to like. And I picked correctly because canonically, these are the books you want to start with, which is the Infernal Devices. So we have Clockwork Angel. I'm so sorry about the lighting. This is really as best as I can get at this moment. It got a 5-star. We got Clockwork Prince. Yeah, I'll give it a close-up too. I got a 5-star. And Clockwork Princess. It got a 4. Yes, it did lose a star. Why? Because I thought it dragged on, personally. I really did. This book did not need to be as long as it was, but it was. It was as long as it was, you guys. And that's okay. Sometimes books be that way. But please go, like I said, go check out my series reviews for both of those, the Filthy Rich Vampire series and the Infernal Devices series, if you want a more in-depth discussion on why I rated the books I rated them and how I saw the series as a whole. Go away, Siri. Wow. I said series, but my phone's SIRI activated. Alright, then we have a couple of, this is when I got into the holiday books for the month. So I have 2 audiobooks back to back. Boom, The Naughty, the Nice, and the Nanny. I gave it a 5-star. That book it was good. It was what I expected it out of it. It was a short holiday romance about a single dad with a kid who just wants attention, so she acts out, and the main girl's a nanny, but she used to go to high school with the dad, so old flames come up, and it's like instant attraction, right? Like, boom, we're taking off. And I needed that. Because these books, while this series is amazing and I love it, and like after finishing these, I bought the next trilogy, I needed some buffer in between it. So I've had a handful of fluffiness buffering in between these because there are some thick boys. And that was perfect. Then I had Book for the Holidays. That was a 5-star as well. I like that as well. I like how this one's holiday, it wasn't Christmas. It was Hanukkah, which is so fun because all the holiday cozy books are Christmas. So to have one that was not Christmas and it was Hanukkah was great. So I liked the switch up there for like focusing on a different holiday in the same season time. I liked that. That was really nice. A little breath of fresh air. There it is. All right. Next up we have. I'm so sad. I wanted this next one as a physical copy, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and the funds are tight. So, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I did read this on Kindle Unlimited. By Sarah Ross. 4 stars. I like this book a lot. It's about a Christmas prince and a Halloween prince, because in this world, all the holidays are royal families. And they're like the royal holidays, and it's funny. It's really cute. And I liked their contrast with each other. My favorite thing ever is the Halloween prince Hex. If he swears, a Halloween decoration appears. So they're having fun. I'm pretty sure I probably talked about this in the Christmas books video. But he swears, boop, a jack-o'-lantern appears. And like they're having fun together, you know what I'm saying? We're doing the adult devil's tango. And next thing you know, boop, there's a ghost decoration. Because we've said a naughty word in bed. So it's so funny. That was like my favorite thing in the whole book. I absolutely adored it. Then we have, boom, another book. I read this one on Kindle Unlimited, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. I gave it a 5-star. I really liked this book. It's based off of it's like inspired by how the Grinch stole Christmas, which is very interesting because you really just people don't really make adaptations of the Grinch, at least not in my circuit, so I don't know. But I thought that was a breath of fresh air. I liked all the town's little mini games, and I like how like the main guy was the grump and how he's gonna steal Christmas, like the Grinch steals Christmas, is by preventing our main girl's story from winning the town's Christmas contest. So he enters himself and like relearns to come back into the community and like relearn to care about Christmas through completing these like tasks and the challenges and what have you for the town's competition. And it was really cute. It was really wholesome. I liked the story because they had crushes on each other and liked each other when they were teenagers, but then a miscommunication and, a temper tantrum caused him essentially to hate her for a long time, and her just kind of running away from the town because she just kind of didn't have a sense of place, and just them having to work through it, the miscommunication and like getting over the hurt feelings and stuff was really nice. So I liked the book. Everybody, I guess I have to talk about the candy cane scene because that's all this book is known for, is the candy cane scene. I thought that was okay. It really wasn't anything special to me, but like, don't do that for me. That's not going in the fantasy bucket. I'm just saying. Not for me. But to each their own. Alright, we've got another audiobook. Whammy. Mr. and Mrs. Christmas. I gave it a 4-star. It was okay. It gets a 4-star because it's a Christmas romance. You got a girl and her best friend's brother. They had a crush on each other when they were younger, but they didn't know about it. They became older. The town is trying to get more publicity for Christmas, so a reporter throws the two of them together and is like, you're going to represent Christmas and be called Mr. and Mrs. Christmas, and everybody's going to look at you and be like, oh, you're the cutest couple ever, you're so Christmas. And they just kind of go around and support the town by pretending to be Christmas. I'm going to just, mess with my hair for a hot second. And they're like, you guys are going to, make business boom. And he like does like woodwork, and she's an ornament maker. And then we have a side plot where the town has like, a Christmas tree with all the town ornaments that they hang every year. And the star broke years back, and so they try to go find it so they can fix it, because obviously she's an ornament maker and he's a woodworker, so he can use his wood to make a star, and then she will decorate it because she's an ornament maker. How convenient. And it's very Hallmark. It's 100% Hallmark. Which is what I expected. So I got a 4. It wasn't a 5 because it wasn't like, wow. Like, it's easy for me to get 4-star or to give 5 stars, but one of these days I'll make a video talking about my ratings. But for now, it didn't quite meet up there to get the 5. It was boring a little bit. So then we have, I have the physical for this one. Oh! Sally's Laminate, everybody. By Marie Mancusi. If I get your name wrong, I'm so sorry, but you wrote a beautiful book. It's a twisted tale book. Hold on, let's get her rating. 5 stars, guys. Oh my goodness. I have the Barnes & Noble edition too. So it's shiny purple, so all the purple is normally yellow for the regular cover, but the Barnes & Noble exclusive has this shiny, because the regular one is matte, this is shiny and it's purple, and then the inside too is, look at that. It's Jack and Sally, and it's all purple, and the regular edition, that's just black. But essentially, this is, as the cover states, what if Sally discovered Christmas Town? So this is what if Sally discovered Christmas Town instead of Jack, but instead of it being an exact recreation of like Sally going in and, Oogie Boogie kidnapping Santa and all this stuff that comes with that, you have a whole other enemy called Mr. Kringle that you have to deal with. And essentially, if you're naughty in any shape or the form, including being mischievous, which isn't necessarily always naughty, like throwing a snowball at a person in a snowball fight, is considered naughty to Mr. Kringle. And he locks you away in a coal mine. How rude is that? And so Sally is trying to stop Mr. Kringle and prove that you can be nice and also a little naughty, and it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of naughtiness in you, because you know their Halloween pranks and naughtiness is their thing. And Jack and Sally's romance is so good. It's so, like, it's not the main focus. The main focus is Sally coming to terms with being a girl boss, right? Because Sally is a girl boss. Sally knows what's up. She knows how to take care of herself. She doesn't need her maker. She doesn't need no man. She just wants a man. And that man is Jack. But Sally knows how to take care of herself. And Jack even admits it. He's like, Sally, you can take care of yourself. I am here in case you need my help. Even though I'm literally the king of our land, you need help, you tell me what you need. And I will help you. This isn't my show, it's Sally's show. And I am her servant. And I was like, yes! I praise this book. I praise this book. It is phenomenal. I am a fan of the Twisted Tales. I have not read them all. Because I'm very selective. I don't like every Disney tale, like, to begin with. So I don't always want to read a twisted version of it. And even of some of the ones I picked up because I did like the Disney tale, I didn't like the twisted. But maybe I'll make another video on that one of these fine days, talking about all of the twisted tales that I've read so far. But this one for sure, people, for sure, read it. I'm actually putting her to the side because we're going to see her again in a little bit. No! Get out of here. Goodreads, I needed you to behave. Next up, we have... Oh, wow. Oh, I wasn't lacking in my Kindle books. I'll get back to that. I technically listened to 3 more audiobooks that aren't tracked, so I guess I did 19 books. But they were re-listens, and I'll talk to that after I get to the end of the book list. We have The Christmas Tree Farm. I know. Listen. By Lori Gilmore. Hold on. Let's get a rating up here. 5 stars. Listen. I understand that this is book 3. I also understand that you don't have to read them in order. Listen. I did plan to read the other 2 in the autumn. But I was on a book buying ban for most of the autumn time. And so by the time I got out of the book buying ban and I could start buying books again, it was Christmas time. So here she is. I can gladly say that the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore are on the TBR. They are on the physical TBR as of right now. They're just not going to be read in season because I don't buy a book and then wait for the season. I will usually either buy the book in the season I want to read it if it's season specific, or I will just read it when I buy it. That's kind of how it works. So I'm going to read them here very shortly. Probably sometime in February is my best guess. But this one was great. For once, the girl was the grump. You don't see it very often, where the girl is the grumpy pants. And then the guy's the golden retriever. There's all kinds of puppies. He has like 3 dogs. She adopts a dog. I love it. Christmas Tree Farm. Girl boss, once again. Our main girl, Kira. She's a twin. Her twin moves out of the country, gets married. And Kat, can we not Kat, please, right now? I would appreciate it. She moves out of the country and decides, or her twin, Kira's twin, Chloe, moved out of the country. And when she did that, Chloe realized she kind of has no sense of self because her identity is always revolved around her twin. So she decides she's going to leave her parents who have lots of money, her happy, privileged life that she's always had everything handed to her. She's going to buy this farm and pickle cucumbers and anything and everything under the sun and start a little garden. And then she opens this tree farm and renovates her barn for weddings and stuff. And she girl bosses it. And Bennett is along for the ride. He is here to help her girl boss. And I love it. I loved it. It was so good. I'm very excited for the other 2. Woo! We're getting places. We have Ken and Porsche, Volume 2. I tragically gave that a 3. I praised volume 1. I gave it a 5-star. I was in heaven the whole time I read it. It took me 2.2 seconds. And I actually think I read it in like a day. I loved it. I loved the drama, like the live action that I had read before the English translation became official. And I loved the drama. So I was so excited for the book's official translation. And then volume 2 came out. And I want to say the drama made this a problem. Essentially, most of this book is supposed to be Ken and Porsche, which are two guys. One is the like middle son of a mafia boss, and the other one is his bodyguard. And they spend most of this book bonding. They spend the first book love-hating each other. And book 2 is supposed to be the hate part kind of going away and the love part coming up more to the front. And they start a relationship in this one. But we spend most of the time with them in the woods establishing this relationship when running away from some people trying to hurt our mafia boy, Ken. And I felt like it wasn't there. Like that bond that I saw in the drama, I wasn't picking up on that in the book. But that's just me as well. That's just, I don't know. It was a letdown. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, and I was a little upset about that because this was one of my anticipated reads for the year, and I was so upset. All right, last physical book, and then I've got 3 more. I got 3 rereads to talk about. They're a whole other category. Illuminate. The Illuminate Files 1. This is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I gave it a 5. Now, this is a trilogy that does need to be read in order, as far as my understanding. But each one is a different group. You follow to a different group of people. This one, you are following, what are names? Ezra and Katie. And essentially, this book is a dossier that you read and establish over time of an event where an illegal mining colony was attacked by a company called Baytech, and essentially the colonists are taken onto a group of 3 ships and are making a run for it in space, trying to get a wormhole open so they could jump to like a main hub, essentially. And during that time, a biochemical, what's it called? Virus? From Baytech, when it came out, like when they first attacked, that starts to spread. That knocks out one of the ships. The AI that was created to help run the ships becomes sentient and decides to just start killing people that he doesn't like. He goes manic. And all the while we're having a romance between Ezra and Katie because these two are like 18 and 19. No, not even. They're teenagers. He's 18. I think she's 17. 2 teenagers. And this whole book takes place over the course of months. A couple months. But like you're getting like you get like classified notes like over here, and you get chat logs. Let's see if I can get to a chat log. Boop. Yep. And then you have like, oh no, that's not a chat log. I'm sorry. You get You get like chat logs. Black pages is when the AI is talking. This is data they recovered from the AI. And so this is, it's essentially a dossier. And it's written really lovely. It's really nice. I'm not a sci-fi person. Unless it's like a romance sci-fi. But like, yes, this had a romance in it. And the format was really fun to read, but as like a one-time thing. But if this is your thing, like if you read this and you love it, there's 2 more just like it. It has the exact same format. So do give it a whirl. That just wasn't my thing. I got about 5 minutes before this thing turns off. Let's see what we can do. We're going to talk about my favorites and least favorite books of 2024. Oh, no, just kidding. I remember. I was like, I think I forgot a book, but I didn't. I want to make sure I get the name right, because I know what I call it in my head. I just want to make sure I get the word right. It's the final countdown. Well, I think we should start with the least favorites so we can end this video off with the favorites of the year so you have something good to take away from this video. Alright? I agree. Let's do it. Least favorite books of the year 2024 are, in no particular order. This isn't by read order or rating order. This is just, these are my like 2 stars. I at least read them. I didn't DNF them, but they were my 2 stars. Wicked. Guys, I am a musical girly, but I never actually listened to Wicked. Why? I couldn't tell you. I didn't. But when the movie came out, I was excited for the movie. So actually, before the movie came out, I listened to the musical, the original Broadway soundtrack, nonstop. And I did know, going into this book, that the musical is loosely pulled from this. So I did know this was different. Listen, I loved the first half of this book. I loved it. I really, really did. I loved when Elphaba was at school with all the others, and like you were really learning about her personality and like how much she cares about people. And like the animals, yes, animals, capital A, not animals. The animals are the ones that talk. But the back half of the book, she becomes wicked. And I just feel like that just wasn't who she was anymore. He completely took what was her out of her. And I guess it's because some traumatic things that I won't spoil happen. But still, like, I just think that's so rude. She was such an amazing character, and you just pooped on her in the back half. I mean, I'm trying not to swear, so that's what we're going to roll with. Ugh. I was disappointed. I was so upset with this book. I really was. I wanted it to be good. I wanted her to be good. Anyways. Our next book, As Good as Dead. Okay. The 3rd book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I speed read this when it finally released. The Netflix adaptation, the live action of it, came to the US. Okay. I had never read these. It'd been on my radar, but I never picked them up until it was coming. I read these a book a day. I read this whole trilogy in 3 days for this movie, for this show, so I could have this read before the show, right? No. I loved book 1, and book 2 was good. I don't think it was quite as good, maybe a bit better than book 1. This, though, this was a no. I know Pippa went through a lot of trauma in the first 2 books, okay? I know she did. But she makes choices in this book that I don't like. I think she fell way too far away from her character, even with the trauma that happened to her. And I think that this could have been better. I feel like this was not as good in any way, shape, or form compared to any of the others. The mystery wasn't as good. The detective, the sleuthing wasn't as good. It just wasn't as good. And sadly, that's why she's on this list. You're going to get mad at me in about 5 seconds. Here we are. Alright, that's 2. My 3rd one. Listen, okay, we've had a year to process this book, guys. We've had a whole year to process this book. Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City 3, House of Flame and Shadow, guys. I got a 2-star. Okay. I'm gonna put her over there. I was so excited for this book. I was so excited. I thought this book was going to be phenomenal. I have read all of the Sarah J. Maas up to this point. I have read all of Throne of Glass. I actually reread it this year, all of Throne of Glass, because my husband decided to listen to the audiobooks for the first time. And so I reread it so that I would have a better knowledge of everything if he had any questions. I've read ACOTAR. I forgot to talk about it, but I reread them by listening to the audiobook. So I read them all, including the 5th one. I've read them all. And then I got the graphic audios on Audible for books 1 through 3. And I re-listened to those. I'm a fan of Sarah J. Maas. And so I read Crescent City 1 and I cried. And I read it like 2 or 3 years ago. And that was the first time in a long time that I had cried while I read a book. It was so good. That ending was so emotional and so impactful. It does slog. We all have the same problem with the slog in the first 200 pages, but it was amazing. Book 2 wasn't as good, but it was still good. What happened here? What happened here? First off, I think we all definitely got a little too excited about the fact that the ACOTAR characters were going to cameo in this, because they only cameoed for a little bit, but they were like the best little bit of this book, I swear. And then if Bryce went into another cave, I was going to lose my mind. She was continuously, you know what the answer to this question is? It's in a cave. Oh, you know the answer to that question? It's in another cave. Oh, the question? Cave. I was like, why are we always in a cave? Why? And all we're doing is walking in caves. And Bryce is not being Bryce at all. She was so rude. Even to Hunt, and Hunt, which is her partner, he had some really traumatic things happen to him, and she essentially said, suck it up. Suck it up. Be a man. And I was like, that is not my Bryce. That's not my Bryce. I was so upset. So that book, I'm still upset. And I read this from January 30th, it looks like, to February 2nd. I read it starting the day it came out to February 2nd, and I was devastated. I was devastated. Guys, I can't with that sadness. So then let's move on to the good things, okay? Sally's Laminate's coming back up here, because wow, this was phenomenal, guys. Like, please pick it up. Please pick it up. I'm so happy with this book. I'm so happy with it. She's beautiful. She's lovely. She is all things grace. Like this, it's so nice. And it's so empowering to, like, because, you know, Sally feels like she's nothing special and she can't do anything. And then she finds out through befriending, like, another doll who ends up breaking her leg later, like, she's made of porcelain and her leg breaks, and she's like, no kid will love me, nobody will want me. And Sally's like, oh, there's always someone who wants you. Like, no matter what you look like, someone will always love you and care for you. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like. It matters how you love yourself. And just, Sally's always been an icon, and she's just a really big icon for this book. And she just, Sally. Oh, Sally. Oh, Sally, you. Then we have Ranger. Ranger sent me into a massive Criminal Minds phase that lasted, like, I mean, I've watched Criminal Minds before. I'm not new to the Criminal Minds world, but this book sent me into, like, 4 seasons straight of just continuously watching it whenever I was not reading. Ooh, I got through a lot. I got through a lot of Criminal Minds in such a short period. Cat! Amelia. My cat is trying to jump on top of the energy. She did it. Alright. We'll see how much of that I keep. Ranger is... It was... First off, just... You get a nerd. You get, like, a proper nerdy nerd. You get Spencer Reid. How much better can you get? You get Spencer Reid in a book. From Criminal Minds, guys. Spencer Reid is my everything. I've been in love with that man for years. For so many years. I love him. And to have a book version of him that I can read and enjoy was just phenomenal. And watching him take care of, I mean, his name's not Spencer Reed. His name is Ranger in the book. But he has the same, like, type of memory and awkward speech patterns, and just, it was Spencer Reed. I really don't know how much more I can say to that. It's Spencer Reed in a book, in a romance book, and he was just so amazing. And, like, he didn't do a lot of things, so a lot of things were his first, and the main girl was really, like, supportive and, like, good about, like, keeping him comfortable while he's trying new things. I was really happy. I was really happy with this book. 10 out of 10. 100% would recommend checking out. It's spicy. It's spicy. It's a spicy romance. Keep that in mind. But it's phenomenal. And we're going to end off this year with Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. Guys, I'm not much of a fiction reader. I gave sci-fi and regular fantasy a go every now and again. But I'm really a romance person. I can do almost any genre, probably, as long as there's a strong romance in it. But this, it does have a romance in it, but this is a fiction novel. And as you all know, Kristen Hanna has been popping up all over everybody's YouTubes and TikToks and book talks and booktubes all year. Usually you're seeing The Nightingale, The Firefly Lane, and The Woman, I believe, are her main titles that I'm seeing circulate right now. And I decided The Nightingale was for me. This is what I wanted to start. I wanted to try this book. I was crying continuously. I don't cry often in books. I just don't. It doesn't mean I don't get emotionally attached and connected and feel for the characters, because I do. I just don't really cry in books. I was crying multiple times. I only read it over a course of a couple days, and she's pretty thick. I was flying through it. I never wanted to put it down. And I loved seeing both sisters' point of views and how in the end they were very similar to each other, how they both were working for the rebellion. It's just in their own individual unique ways, while one of them was saving children, Jewish children, and getting them to safety and smuggling them, while the other one was smuggling American and British soldiers back to Spain to get them onto an allied territory to get them back home. And throughout the book, so no spoilers, obviously, because this is amazing and you should be picking it up and you should be trying it. There are sections, like chapters throughout the book, where it's present day. Well, what is present day is like 1985. Right? I think it's like 1985. Let's see. I feel like the first chapter was in quote unquote present day. Ooh, she got a big backlog. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. 1995. Sorry, I was close. That is modern day. And you'll get those chapters throughout. And essentially, while you're reading the book, you're trying to figure out which sister is it. Which sister is the modern day is the modern day one. And it was not what I expected. I'm just saying, that's all I'm going to say, because no spoilers. But read this book. And guys, that was December 2024, and that was the year of 2024. My reading goal for 2024 was 100 books. And I read 142. And that does include audiobooks. I did not read any mangas or graphic novels. My husband gives me fits when I do read those. He doesn't think they count. And apparently, according to Goodreads, I read 59,647 pages. How exciting. How exciting is that? My average book length was 420 pages this year, guys. That was my year. So many books. So many adventures. So many stories. I'm so happy I've been able to share as many of them as I can with you in the few months that I've been doing YouTube. And I'm excited for this now, 2025, because it's like January 2nd for me right now. I'm so very excited for this upcoming year, 2025, to continue to share more books with you guys. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of my channel and the beginning of my journey here on YouTube. I thank you guys so much for watching me. and supporting me. This year's reading goal is 120. Seeing as how I read so many, I'm very excited for that. So, but with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!